hard is left your family, your neighbors, to go to the United States for a better life. They grow up in the United States, they live with the family in the United States. Our people, we have to travel. It's different life. It's like we're working to make a two life. One in the United States, one back home. So that's why it's very hard to leave your country. And when we have a problem, I know a lot of people in the United States, they don't get a chance to come back home because they don't have papers. You have to straighten up your papers. You can come back. I went to United States traveling from here, from Honduras to Guatemala, from Guatemala to Mexico, from Mexico. Some coyotes.
Coyotes.
They help you to.
Tenía que pagar.
Today's day, you pay your life. Some people get killed, and you have to pay like $10,000. So it's danger now. It's not easy to be immigrant. It's not easy life, but it's the only way we can get a better life. So that's why people have to do it. I love United States. God bless America. I have a good life over there, and my kids, they're not suffering for nothing. Over here, some people, they don't have some days they don't have nothing to feed the kids. Yeah, so thank you for coming to my town.
Thank you.
You are a strong woman for sure.
Yeah. And I'm gonna keep it up.
Yeah, got
Being strong.
Mi nombre es Nelson Herrera, soy Garifuna.
My name is Wilson Marin, and I am Garifuna.
My name is Amina Arsu, and I was born in the U.S., but I'm still Garifuna. Deep down inside to
Mi nombre es Abner Roberto Morales Patay. Soy Garifuna.
I'm Garifuna. I'm from Trujillo.
Yo soy netamente Garifuna.
Garifuna ya Honduras.
Soy Garifuna. Soy Noel Ruiz. Garifuna.
Garifuna.
Welcome to the Gilchrist Experience. Today's guests, Wilson Marin and Erica Harding. Is that right?
Yes.
See, an old man can remember. I can see it and read it. We're going to contribute this short film to these youngsters. My grandson's involved, and this is our youth, our up-and-coming youth in our community. Tell us about the new film. Erica?
Okay.
You're the producer?
Yes, it's a documentary short, more so an ethnographic piece about a group of people from Honduras called the Garifuna. And it's basically a big history lesson. It takes us back through their history and some of the social issues that they're facing right now.
And one of the natives of this society is our friend here, Mr. Wilson.
Yes, how you doing?
Mr. Wilson. Brother Wilson.
How you
What's
doing,
happening,
Mr. Wilson?
man?
Everything's cool, all right.
So we went back to your homeland?
Yeah, went back to my homeland, filmed this documentary about the culture, and my ancestors called Garifunas. So during my little documentary trip, I learned more than what I knew already. So it was kind of informal and got a lot of information about my background, and I really appreciate my background, and definitely Erica for taking me back and giving me knowledge about it.
So, well, we were talking, you know, about what lessons you learned from these new experiences, going to a completely foreign environment, and what you had studied in international studies about what happens to people in the past and how they graduate from slavery. And tell us about your studies on this subject.
Well, from what I learned, I learned a lot, but in a nutshell, I think the most important lesson that I learned was just humility, being able to make use of what you have without needing a lot, and seeing how people live happy lives and fulfilled lives without having all the material things that we're used to in our Western culture. And I think that's what I learned the most. And also being able to give back helps you feel so much more better than receiving.
Do you feel your grandparents and your parents' reflection on how they struggled in their life in America, and you have so many opportunities in front of you?
Definitely. Yeah, my grandmother didn't even finish high school, so you know, and she always pushed education, for education first, before anything, before children, before marriage. So being able to live by that, by those words, definitely has made a difference in my life and for my family. Yeah.
And you Wilson, I'm sure, coming from the hood, this is quite an eye-opener. And there wasn't a local grocery store where you could go get whatever you needed?
Wasn't a local grocery store. It's just people know how to make it work out there. It was just being more hands-on with food and working and helping out community-wise is more hands-on. So it's a big difference, but yeah, it's a big difference. It's a real big difference.
Well, tell us what it really feels like to go back to your roots. Where you know, a lot of us always feel we get this nostalgia about where am I from? I know I'm from Africa. And when you can go down and actually see where you've come from. I know President Obama, who's a reverend to me, a blessing from God. I mean, he knows his direct descendants. Yeah. He's a direct descendant of Africa. But here you've got an opportunity to see your people migrated from, or we'll see the story in the film. But how does it feel to really see your roots?
I feel good. Give me a better understanding of what's going on. Definitely in my bloodline. I learned a lot about my grandfather, my grandparents, like, you know, about the town that I live in. It was just a good experience. I just love learning and gaining the knowledge about my family that I didn't know before. So it was cool.
And how does the hood look to you after that?
U.S. hood or the Honduras hood?
Either one.
It's a big difference, but we living good in the U.S. hood. You know, it's just definitely when you're in Honduras, you see people walking with no shoes on, you know, carrying food on their head for, you know, just transporting however they can. Over here, I could say we got a little good, but it's still poverty in both ways, but it's just a different poverty.
How are the boys gonna see you, and once they see this?
Nah, they're gonna be happy. They're gonna be good. As long as it's progress and it's something that involving communities and helping out, they're gonna be happy with me. Over there in Honduras, over here in New York, it's gonna be the same thing.
Has it changed your sense of community now?
Yeah. I appreciate.
Come back here with a different attitude.
Yeah, I appreciate things more, and I came here with a better knowledge of things. Definitely.
A better love for black people in general.
Basically.
I know you've got a natural joy from all this, because this is a lifelong struggle for you. Not struggle, but yearn, or tell us what you call it. Is it calling for you?
Definitely, in more ways than one. I think I always had a passion for educating. So, but I also wanted to do something on a global level. So, and this plays right into that. I think that our youth, you know, black, white, yellow, it doesn't matter. They should be able to understand people in general on a global level. And until you learn about the different cultures that live next door to you, then you can't have that global mentality or perspective or respect other people. So I think I went into it as a way to be able to educate and involve people, and I think it'll help us evolve as a people. So.
Well, you know what it's doing for every young lady that's that can identify with you. I mean, you're an example of how a young lady is supposed to reach out for her dreams.
Yeah,
right?
I definitely hope so. I mean, you know, nothing is easy, but at the same time, doing this project helped me realize that I really can do whatever I want to do.
Amen.
You know, as long as I keep a positive attitude and I help other people, and I work my hardest, then it can be done. So I hope that it will be an inspiration for other people, especially women.
Yeah, especially. Yeah,
yes,
because they need the most help.
Yeah, we do. I mean, you know, we've definitely come far. We've broken a lot of barriers, but at the same time, we still live in a patriarchal society. So being able to show people that I was a leader, I am a leader, and I got something done with the help of, you know, men and women, and it wasn't something that you know, I want to. It's not in a pretentious way, but just a way to show you could be a leader and you can be a woman without any issues. So.
Well, how does the you know, I'm old enough to be your I have grandkids your age. As you know, you work with my grandson, right?
Yes.
And so, how does, I mean, from my vantage point, I see the president as a blessing from God, and he's an example of how a black man should be. I mean, in life. Does that give you any inspiration on both of you? I'm sure that the Bonner daughters are an inspiration to everybody young and black. Or do most young people feel that they're different than other folks?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I think that the Obama girls will they're gonna live in a different society than what maybe we've grown up in. They're in another generation, so when they become our age, things will be a whole lot different. And I feel like they should, or we never know the future, but I feel like they would and they should be able to accomplish much more than we have. So I look forward to hearing their stories, and I'm sure it's going to be something great. And it is an inspiration to know that he's paved the way and made a way for us to do better.
Now, I was just wondering, does the youth see that they're out of your vantage point, to the point that you could never be what they could be? It's, you know, from the male standpoint, I mean, we're too busy wolfing and barking at each other and being a gentleman. This is my point. I mean, I see Obama as a gentleman. In my day, that's the only way you could survive, to be a gentleman. But see two generations or, you know, 40, 50 years difference, and it's about being a bad guy, being a gangster. You know, gangster rap. You got to be foul. You can't smile too much. You can't show. You know, we're going over teen violence, and we're going over the Crips and the Bloods. They can't show any heart, and they can't be soft, which is feeling, or being a woman if you love somebody, or show respect for another brother, or hug another man. You know what I mean?
I think that is just how people get betrayed and what people be trying to look for. Really, that's not a lot of people that's in that kind of lifestyle. Is not basically, not to say they're not like I can't explain.
They're not really like that.
They're not really like that. It's just, it's a claim. It's just what they see on TV, what they see around their surroundings, what they grow up in. It's harder to be a gentleman than being a bad boy. Right. Definitely growing up in, let's say, Harlem, where I'm from.
Right.
You feel me? So, like you said about Obama, that back in the day was just it was a perk to be a gentleman, would lead you to success and succeed and being a leader.
Exactly.
Nowadays, it's negativity that brings you to be a leader, or what sorts. But sometimes, most of the time, it's just they go by what people see, not really by how their own feelings or how they are as a person. Some people grow into it, like, you know, we all grow up, or we want to be a part of the gang or be a part of this, or this is what we see people do. But once we grow and have our own intentions on our own mind, then that's when you separate being a man or a boy, or being a gentleman, or just being a bad boy.
Amen. So tell you what, why don't we just watch the film, and then we can come back and see and talk about your creation. All right?
Cool.
Be right back at you.
Have you heard of the only unslaved African descendants in Central America? How can a culture so unknown preserve its legacy? On our land, in Garifuna in Honduras. Latin America is home to various cultures and customs that have been around for centuries. In Central America, Honduras is nestled between Nicaragua, El Salvador, and Guatemala. Honduras is home to roughly 7 indigenous groups that still exist today, one being the Afro-Indigenous Garifuna. During the transatlantic slave trade in 1635, a shipwreck took place off the Caribbean island of St. Vincent. There were already Arawak and Carib Indians living on the island when the Africans intended for slavery arrived. The intermixing of the cultures make up the Afro-Indigenous group, Garifuna. The Garifuna are known for punta music, a rhythm that is infused from African roots, complemented with drums and swift foot and hip movements. The purpose of the dances are to acknowledge the ancestors and the historical voyage, but it has evolved into a very popular secular form of music. Music is a major cultural component.
Aunque nunca aprendí a bailar punta, le voy a decir la verdad, no sé. Pero siempre me escapaba, porque esa cultura, esa alegría, que el Garifuna es de tal manera que puede estar llorando en un ratito, en cuanto oye el tambor como que se olvida del problema y hay alegría, tiene un espíritu alegre.
Y importantes son máxime los dibujos, porque si no es tambor no hay nada, porque sin esto, con esto se arma.
The historical connection to Africa with the drum is still relevant to the culture. Among other cultural elements, the food is very rich and popular.
A guy from Trujillo that is not Garifuna and says that he never tastes a Garifuna food, he's gonna be a liar, you know.
Iriba is made from grated cassava. Iriba is often eaten with fish, hudutu, pounded plantains, or alone with gravy, lasusu, and rice. These dishes are well known and served throughout Honduras, and not everyone knows that its roots are from the northern coast. Marginalization threatens the extinction of Garifuna language, culture, and ancestral lands. Can all these aspects of culture be saved? There is a struggle, but with generational passing, it can be done.
Que lo que hacemos no se pierda porque hay alguien atrás que lo va a volver a hacer. Sí, el relevo generacional. Por ejemplo, lo de la hecha del casabe. Eso es algo que necesitamos nosotros enseñar a los jóvenes. Porque la hecha de hacer casabe ahora está en manos de gente mayor. Entonces, cuando la gente mayor muera, ¿qué va a pasar? Entonces, tenemos que enseñarle a los jóvenes también.
There is primary level education available in Garifuna villages, but this has not been the most efficient socially or scholastically. All the villages visited prided themselves on providing the opportunity for Garifuna language classes for students.
He said the mayor stacked the building for them. He gave them like chalkboards, desks, chairs, seats, and stuff like that to build this, to have this.
Esta es escuela de gente.
Sí.
Hablar un poquito sobre los diferentes grupos étnicos y también después de eso habla sobre el grupo Garifuna y qué tipo de programas tiene.
Para nosotros los grupos étnicos de nuestro municipio juegan un papel muy importante y les damos la debida atención posible. Actualmente acá en nuestro municipio, los afrodescendientes, donde se está trabajando, dando apoyo a una escuela denominada Lombardo Lacayo, en donde los niños están actualmente recibiendo clases de inglés, español y al mismo tiempo su idioma, lo que es el garífuna. Nosotros como corporación municipal tenemos toda la buena voluntad y la responsabilidad directa de ver por el bienestar de estos niños y niñas que están en esta escuela.
En lo que son los garífunas los apoyamos mucho en lo que es artesanía, ¿verdad? Porque ellos tienen un enorme potencial en ello, y desde lo que es la municipalidad estamos apoyando también la cuestión bilingüe, que los niños y niñas no solo aprendan, porque necesitamos que esa partición de la parte cultural y la identidad se dé a conocer, y ya en los centros educativos ya se está dando lo que es la parte bilingüe.
If the villages can successfully provide Garifuna language instruction, it will surely prove to sustain the language over time.
Right now, Garifuna, we speak Garifuna, I speak Garifuna. Nobody Garifuna dumera abu, abidi bebu. But if there was a law saying that the people who live in the Garifuna community should have a Garifuna class in their school, you know, it's like when I went to the school in La Ceiba, I had English class, I had French class, but I never had Garifuna class. You see what I'm saying?
A nivel oficial hay un programa de educación que el Estado está impulsando, pero que no es suficiente.
I want the school to look better. Like you could tell with a central school how the school look. It's all pretty, it's all cool.
Wow, he said they're going to keep this as a pool, they're going to remodel it and have a library on top of the pool.
Then when you come to the Cristales school, Socorro Sorel, it's like it's poor, but at the same time it's fun. Like they used to it, you know what I'm saying? But I like to see a little bit of changes, because it still looks the same since I was going there, since I was a little kid.
Porque aquellos años hemos sido marginados, porque los días jueves de toda la semana los niños van vestidos de traje típico a la escuela y se les da una hora de clases en Garifuna.
Solamente en jueves.
Sí, un programa una vez por semana, el Ministerio de Educación. Ajá. Pero también el reto que los padres tenemos que transferir ese conocimiento a los hijos. Tenemos que pasar los padres a los hijos. En esa cadena tiene que irse para que la lengua no se pierda. Porque aquellos años hemos sido marginados, porque usted iba a la escuela, tanto en Trujillo, en la escuela Socorro Sorel, le decían, no, que no hables ese moreno, le decían los niños. Entonces yo también viví eso en la escuela. Entonces, y más bien el reto es que más bien el maestro aprenda a hablar Garifuna para que le enseñe Garifuna también a los niños.
I speak English and Spanish, and I can't really say I speak Garifuna, but I understand a little bit. I understand. Like sometimes the people here, they always ask me, oh, how gon' boo with you? And that means, where's your mother? So I just respond to them, not to them, oh, ella está allá, she's over there, or whatever.
So you didn't get a chance to teach her Garifuna? Why is that? Not because I didn't have a chance. Maybe I think I didn't focus to teach them Garifuna. But I know it's very important, and I think I have to teach them Garifuna. Sorry for today. That's a shame. You Garifuna and you didn't speak no Garifuna.
Garifuna generally speak their language and the official language of their country. In the case of Honduras, it is Spanish. The struggle for preservation of language, efficient education, and conservation of lands plagues this ethnic group. Honduras's beautiful sprawling beaches along the northern coast is a tourist destination for scuba divers and eco-enthusiasts, but in reality, these lands are the Garifuna's backyard. Discrimination and marginalization leads to land struggles, which are apparent throughout many villages in Honduras.
Aquí en las comunidades garífunas estamos pasando por una situación difícil con la gente, y es la cuestión de la tierra. Aquí la tierra está constituida por un título comunitario, común, ¿verdad? Sin embargo, cada persona tiene su derecho dentro de lo que es el territorio garífuna. Pero el problema que estamos teniendo ahorita es que mucha gente de la población garífuna está vendiendo su tierra.
Hasta este momento, según dicen las leyes de Honduras, cualquier tierra que el Estado necesite para un proyecto de interés nacional, el Estado tiene la potestad de hacer una expropiación sobre la tierra. La comunidad, teniendo su documentación legalmente registrada sobre esos terrenos, el gobierno de Honduras, a la fuerza, de manera arbitraria, obligó a los directivos de ese momento a que firmaran que los garífunas estaban despojando de una situación que es totalmente negativa, aunque el proyecto era interesante para el desarrollo de nuestro país, pero el proceso que ellos utilizaron para el despojo de la tierra no fue el correcto.
Cuando quedan sin tierra, quieren invadir la tierra que viene a comprar otra persona, que eso no sería lógico. Eso se llama expropiación de tierra, que no debería ser así. Deberíamos de comprar la tierra, que el gobierno la ceda a los campesinos, pero que los campesinos cuiden la tierra y que sea un patrimonio familiar para que los hijos nuestros de ahí vivan de esa tierra, hospital, educación, y le demos un crecimiento en la parte social y enseñanza a nuestros hijos para que eso sirva como un patrimonio de por vida. Lógicamente, necesitamos que ellos se involucren más en el proceso de desarrollo, porque en algunos momentos a veces se han quejado de que se están replegados, y la intención de nosotros es atraerlos cada día más para que juntos podamos ir transformando nuestro municipio, porque ellos son parte del desarrollo de nuestro municipio. Por lo tanto, nosotros buscamos esa alternativa y esa oportunidad que le estamos dando a ellos para que puedan venir, puedan accesar más a los servicios que nosotros tenemos.
Es como un protocolo muy largo para conseguir ayuda del gobierno.
Estamos arreglando nuestras calles de Trujillo, y nosotros mismos los trujillanos estamos arreglando nuestras propias calles, ¿sabe? Principalmente nosotros los cristaleños estamos arreglando nuestras calles, ¿sabe por qué? Porque nuestras calles están malas y ya estamos cansados de hablar con el alcalde que nos arregle nuestras calles, ¿sabe? Entonces él siempre nos dice a nosotros que mañana y mañana y mañana, y nosotros ya nos cansamos del mañana, ¿sabe? Fuimos de acuerdo que mejor entre todos nosotros vamos a arreglar nuestra calle a cambio de nada, voluntariamente estamos trabajando aquí, ¿sabes? Nosotros conseguimos los recursos por medio de nosotros mismos, compañeros de nosotros, nos ponemos a ir a la playa a recoger arena, nos vamos para arriba a recoger piedra, y nosotros los jóvenes miramos que en verdad nosotros tenemos que hacer algo. Hasta que terminemos de arreglarlo es que nos vamos a ir, ¿sabes?
What I think why the community trying to do everything on their own is because we believe that there is not a lot of help from the government unless we have a Garifuna member into the government. That way, that person, as a Garifuna leader, we'll try to push and get some help from the government. But if we do not have that type of help, there is nothing coming to us. We have this, they call it ethnic groups, so we fell into the ethnic groups. So they send a lot help just for the ethnic groups, but it's not just Garifunas. They are page, they are mosquitoes, they are everything.
Una de las muestras es que yo soy el único alcalde de Garifuna en todo Honduras. Como repito, es una oportunidad, pero también es una debilidad, porque ha pasado un fenómeno. Aún en comunidades garífunas, los alcaldes son mestizos, son blancos.
Some suggest the United States is a major influence that distracts youth from preserving the Garifuna culture.
American culture has influence on us, like by TV. You know, you watch BET, you watch lo que nosotros tratamos de hacer es imitar lo que vemos en la televisión.
They just pick up a lot from clothing, the way they talk. They even pick up English. Some people be watching straight up movies that's in English, so they can pick up on words and learn and just say one sentence from the movie and everybody know what it is, stuff like that. So mainly television, radio, stuff like that, computers. As long as they can watch and see what's going on in the States, they could mimic it over there.
The American thing is something that you don't live always with it. You know, you wake up in Honduras and you turn on that TV and now you check USA. So that's the different, like it's different, so you get interesting in it. Yeah, so then you want to be like that, and that's the reason.
Unlike Wilson, Gloria feels the U.S. is a place where dreams are made of.
En Estados Unidos no hay influencia para la maldad en Honduras. El que ya tiene esa mentalidad es que se va con esa mentalidad para los Estados Unidos y regresa con esa mentalidad para Honduras. Pero en Estados Unidos la puerta está abierta para lo bueno y lo malo. ¿Ve? Entonces son dos caminos, si tú sabes qué camino seguir. ¿Ve? Así es que la influencia de nadie me puede decir a mí que por la influencia de los Estados Unidos puede haber corrupción en Honduras. Eso es mentira.
Traveling along the northern coast, there is a very unique village, Santa Rosa de Aguan. The only way to reach Lucy through the unpaved sandy roads was by boat. She provided her story of migrating to the United States and what influences she thought transnational lifestyles bring.
American people, they don't know how hard it's left your family, your neighbors, to go to the United States for a better life. They grow up in the United States, they live with the family in the United States. Our people, we have to travel. It's different life. It's like we're working to make a two life. One in the United States, one back home. So that's why it's very hard to leave your country. And when we have a problem, I know a lot of people in the United States, they don't get a chance to come back home because they don't have papers. You have to straighten up your papers. You can come back. I went to United States traveling from here, from Honduras to Guatemala, from Guatemala to Mexico, from Mexico. Some coyotes.
Coyotes.
They help you to.
Tenía que pagar.
Today's day, you pay your life. Some people get killed, and you have to pay like $10,000. So it's danger now. It's not easy to be immigrant. It's not easy life, but it's the only way we can get a better life. So that's why people have to do it. I love United States. God bless America. I have a good life over there, and my kids, they're not suffering for nothing. Over here, some people, they don't have some day they don't have nothing to feed the kids. Yeah, so thank you for coming to my town.
Thank you.
You are a strong woman for sure.
Yeah. And I'm gonna keep it up.
Yeah, got to.
Being strong.
Mi nombre es Nelson Herrera, soy Garifuna.
My name is Wilson Marin, and I am Garifuna.
My name is Amina Arsu, and I'm one of the U.S., but I'm still Garifuna. Deep down inside.
Mi nombre es Abner Roberto Morales Bonay. Soy Garifuna.
I'm Garifuna. I'm from Trujillo.
Yo soy netamente Garifuna.
Garifuna ya Honduras.
Yo soy Garifuna, soy Noel Ruiz. Garifuna.
Garifuna. Ya le meri wakeira. Sagurga sagurga. Ogune. Galati nubuseto gebegiti nupasenye nege hamutina gasen sotia ungi yubaba pati baby ni vivano ni dairumwe mama luengi yena liya kufunga luni bazami luni ni viva luni bambarunina igi ara ya bebana ya
Back. I'm sure you all appreciated that one. There were several things in there that I had some questions about. There seems to be a government thing. They're trying to take over the native land. Any natural resource that America might want? I mean, what is that all about?
No, it's not like the government is trying to take over the natural land. The thing about it is that a lot of the Garifuna villages are on the northern coast, and it's in an area of prime real estate for tourism.
Okay.
And the areas have always been owned by communal titles. It's just not the same as it is here in the U.S. where you buy your land, you can you save it or you have it, you build whatever you want, or you sell it to someone else. It's just it is a bit different because the government system is different. So a lot of the villages that were never able to expand and become a little bit more affluent, people still own their lands through communal titles. And if you don't have the ability to prove that that's your land through a title, then it can be taken from you. And so what's happening is in certain regions, not every village, not completely all over the northern coast, but in some places, lands have been stripped away for real estate or for hotels, tourism, and things like that.
So that's the biggest money maker is tourism.
Definitely the biggest money maker in a region like that, so close to the water.
Yeah.
Pristine,
really
beautiful weather. It's just it's a gorgeous place to be. So it is an issue in some places.
So the temperament has an effect on the people and their nature, doesn't it?
Definitely. I think there's one place in Trujillo, one of the places that we went, that this isn't in the video, but I know that there is a Canadian man who came and started building homes and selling homes to people who want to have vacation homes. And so it's on this land that a lot of Garifuna people are claiming is theirs. And so things like that, you're having like conflict with the actual natives versus people who come in and just live in a house for the summer, and it's a brand new 3-story home overlooking the ocean. So just taking that away from them, I can't specifically verify if it's theirs or not, but just to hear the stories, it can be a bit disturbing, and they do cause a lot of conflict in that way. So
being a true native of all this, how does it make you feel to see all this rather than Lenox Avenue? I mean, it's
just sort of like advantage. Like I look at it as kind of taking advantage of the situation, because you could say money talks, so it's not really about who land is it here. If you have money for it and we want it, we giving it to you. So it's like a form of taking advantage, and it's not being equal at the same time. So me looking at it, I was kind of surprised at the situation she was telling you about the Canadian coming in and making land, taking the land, building stuff, and selling it all over. It was just, it's kind of confusing, but at the same time, it's the way of the world out there. Like she said, the government is different. So this is why we be needing a lot more people from Honduras, like the move to come back, to give back to the community, build stuff for their own, so we won't have that different type of conflict going on with other people buying stuff.
Is there some way where as a foreigner comes there and he can actually share his wealth? If he treats the people fairly, there's nothing wrong with that.
Definitely, and I'm sure that there are foreigners who do come and sharing wealth, and they may have a business and they employ people, which is fine, but at the same time, you could just compare it to gentrification here in the U.S. Like, people come in,
well, we got nothing to say about that.
But people come in and build stores right here on Lenox Avenue and employ people from the neighborhood, but it's still an issue, So it's to me, in my eyes, it's very comparable to that same situation. But I guess depending on who's being affected is how that plays out.
It is identical.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's exactly what happens to us here in Harlem.
Yeah,
we're native Harlemites. I'm born and raised in Harlem. I don't own anything.
And somebody may look at you and say, "Well, that's your fault that
somebody not from Harlem."
Right. So
see, that's usually the case. Because people from outside see more wealth and more value than you do, since you've been brought up in it.
Yeah.
And they school you to the point that you don't learn to value your own hood.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So all you do is learn how to disrespect it and
take it for
disrespect
granted.
Or move away.
Yeah, that's what mostly happens.
And so that's happened in Honduras, and they have something that's called brain drain. That's basically when the most affluent and educated people leave and go to other affluent and affluent places in the world instead of coming back, because if they go back, they have nothing to go back to.
Exactly. So we're discovering a problem that's a problem throughout the planet.
Definitely.
Right.
And people think it's so different, but in many ways, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. So how can we share amongst the peoples we go around? I mean, does this change your outlook? I'm sure it has. It has to.
Yeah. It's within though. It changed the outlook, but it is really within the person or organization that want to help.
But you got to help yourself.
You have to help yourself. Of course, you have to. It got to start from you. That's what I mean. It really got to start from you. If it determines what the kind of person you are. If you want to help out, or you want to give information to your next brother or your sister about what's going on, and they want to react to the situation, then we can move forward. But like I said, it comes within the person. It's not really a he say, she say thing. It's a spiritual thing.
You have to understand that we're a spiritual people. Until we learn to recognize our nature. Now you had to go so far away to understand that you're a happy person normally. And these other things that the Europeans have implanted in your mind are superficial, because that's not you.
Yeah. And that's why I think this is so important to show to youth, so that they can understand, so that they can grow up understanding this. Like, this won't be, I feel kind of embarrassed that I was 25 years old when I learned about this, But whose fault is that? But at the same time, if there was someone there to teach me, or if the history books told this story when I was 8 and 9, then I would probably have a better appreciation of history and of different cultures.
But everything in due time.
Yeah, this is true.
Everything in due time.
Never too late to learn. Never too late to learn.
It's never too late to learn. The older I get, the more I love to learn. I learn something new every day. Every day. And that's what keeps you alive. Learning. And being a babe, you have to be a child in your heart. You have to have God in your heart. And my young great-granddaughter, she got evil just the other day. And I looked at her and said, that's not like you. And I got annoyed that she got it all fussy. You see how she's been fussing lately, right? She said, but I got God in my heart. She defended herself. I wonder where she got it from. I've searched around, but it came from her. It actually came from her. So, I mean, we learn from small children. And I always think you have to have a childlike thing about everything. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes, because, you learn from it. So carry on and keep up the good work. I mean, it's marvelous to see you grow and learn. That's where we all can learn. Basically. All right? So you share this wealth with other people through film.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's a calling for you, so you're on your way.
I hope so. Yeah.
My what do you say, kudos?
Kudos to you.
Okay. See, I got to keep up, man. Kudos for this one. This is what, 5 kudos?
5 kudos.
Yeah.
All the kudos.
5 is right. Yeah.
And my grandson is a part of all this, but he's shy. He don't get on camera.
Yeah, he was one of the videographers and also the editor. So one of the editors. So
I know he labored hard.
Yeah.
Well, this was quite a struggle for you. Not struggle. I mean, it's a labor of love, right?
Yes.
And you two just bond between all this, right?
Yeah.
What is it like to go to an environment like that and sort of have everybody trust you to share your life story with? They brought you in and they treated you like you were family.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the most important things that you have to be careful with when you're doing research, especially something about a people or a place, because if you are outsider, you may not always get the truth, or people may not want to be people may not want to tell you. So I think for me, the most important thing was to go before without the cameras and without the crew, and just get to know people. So I was there for about 3.5 weeks, just getting to know people and traveling around the country and meeting people, and you know, seeing who would connect with me and who felt open enough to share their story. And then I went back.
You made a film of that.
Yeah, because at one point I was attacked by a dog. At another point I was robbed. So, a lot of things happened in that month. Yeah, I mean, it was just a lot going on. But, I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I think, sometimes I was scared, sometimes I was happy, sometimes I was safe. So, but in all, I knew I was going to be okay. And I think that's just a part of traveling, especially being a female and traveling by yourself. You never know what's going to happen. But, I'm but I guess I am crazy and fearless at the same time. So it all worked out for me.
Well, looking at the film, everybody looked like they're from down the street here.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's
so
another
different.
thing. I was able to blend in. People didn't know that I wasn't from there. I didn't go with.
Wilson looked like he was from the hood. And
Yeah,
he fit right in there. But
and I think I think it helped that I speak the language, so I was able to just,
Well, you're looking more Dominican every second.
Oh well.
Marina.
I never.
Dominicans are black people speaking Spanish.
I mean, you have wherever the slave trade took place, there are people that look like us. So, yeah.
So this is fun. So, what? Give us a little idea of what your next project is like.
Oh wow!
Neil came up with another one, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. We have a few.
You want to talk about it?
A few through him, and then one through one of our other the other editor, Patrick Frazier. But I think this time we're going to work on something that's going to be local here within New York City.
I got a story of being born and raised in Harlem.
Well, we just might have to do that then.
How much would it cost me?
We have a biography coming up, huh?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
The autobiography of Mr. West.
Why not? The Gilchrist experience, as you see, I'm always trying to squeeze myself into this because it's been a Gilchrist experience. This is what we do here. This is a therapy. This is another therapy hour for me. I've been doing this for 14 years, and I just ad-lib through it all and just let it happen. I just, spontaneous.
Basically.
It's got to be real, right?
Yep.
And you got to keep happy. So, it's such a pleasant thing to do, to really be able to touch people like that and to feel good about yourself and what you're doing and really learn things. I mean, you can come back here and see how everybody's just so stifled in their own blinders. When there's an open door right in front of you, the world is a beautiful place. And I see how gorgeous it is down there. I mean, that's breathtaking. I mean, some of the sceneries that you see there. And to just go and throw a line out in the ocean and grab your lunch.
Grab your lunch, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine going down there and having a little money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. So
I think Wilson's gonna retire in Honduras.
Yeah. You think about that?
Yeah, try to build something out there. Yeah.
Like the Canadian you see?
Yeah, my version of it. Okay. I really want to build a little community out there, like for low people that don't really work like that, but just small families. I don't want to call it a project or nothing. I just want to call it it's just a unit. A unit, exactly.
Family unit.
Low income and stuff like that. Just get people off the street. I got more in works, but that's the little thing that's in my mind.
Well, there's no true poverty down there.
No, it is. It's poverty.
Yeah, definitely.
But people aren't starving. Right?
I mean, I think it kind of depends on where you are, especially in some of the major cities like Tegucigalpa, San Pedro Sula.
You can't go fishing.
You can't go fishing.
You can't. It's more countryside and things of that nature. So depending on where you are, but seeing as how where we were and where he's from is from the coast. The people are all that they have, so they help each other a lot too.
So we're talking about a local village there.
Right.
So there is a big city element?
Definitely.
Couple.
Definitely. A few cities and
It's poverty over there.
You gotta watch your back.
You gotta watch your back.
Yeah, it's poverty to the point where, you know, children are living in boxes and things of that nature. Like, definitely.
Because it's good weather.
Well, they're living in that because they don't have anything else, you know, because it's just.
Well, they're not freezing it there.
Well, no, they're not freezing because it's a good climate place. But at the same time, when it's hot, it's hot.
And when it rains,
you know, and when it rains for 4 and 5 days straight and things of that nature. Yeah, so you know, it's still, no one wants to live outside. So.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
You might want to live outside.
Yeah.
So what kind of message would you like to give people?
Just basically find out about your culture, learn about yourself more, learn about your family. Don't take things for granted, you know. Just because we live in America, I'm from Harlem or whatever, it's not like you're on top of the world, but at the same time, you just need to be happy with where you at and where you could be. Because I could easily be from Honduras, but never have the opportunity to come over here. You know, I could be from my family, could be some other type of family. I just live in Honduras and just struggle. You know, so I just take everything. Don't take things for granted, and that's it. That's the only advice I got for people, just to learn about yourself more. Definitely your family. Come a long way.
So this has really made you happy, huh?
Yeah, it made me happy a lot. I told Erica that I learned a lot about the Garifuna. You know, even from the language, even from where it came from. Like me, I just took it for granted. My grandma, my grandfather, grandmother, oh, y'all talk that, blah, blah, blah. You know, just growing up, I was being American. But once, you know, you start knowing and your family started telling you things and where your grandfather started working and how lights came on in your town, your grandfather had something to do with that. You know, it was just, the information intrigued me, so it's cool.
Isn't it strange how this all came about? I mean, you started the project, and you, Patrick, and
so I was
school.
Right. I was reading this book.
You might mention the school.
Okay. Well, I did my undergrad in journalism, mass media arts at Clark Atlanta University, and that's where Patrick Fraser and Neil Dixon, your grandson, attended school. And we had several classes together, worked on school projects, and so they were my friends. Right. And so when I went to do my graduate program at Ohio University, did a program in international studies with the focus on Latin America, I decided to choose to do my research on Honduras because I was reading this book at one point during my graduate program, and it mentioned the Garifuna, saying that they were one of the or the only enslaved people of African descent in Central America. Right. So when I read this, it intrigued me, and I said, wow, I need to just read up on it some more. And the more I read, the more I liked, and I just really wanted to do something on it. And I said, well, I got to put these journalism skills to use. Why not do a documentary? So I called Patrick and I called Neil, and we had this three-way conversation one night. And I said, you know, do you guys want to come to Honduras with me? And they said, yeah. And so Neil said, I know somebody that's from Honduras.
Oh, that's fabulous.
And I said, well, who is it? And he said, it's this guy named Wilson. I said, well, can you give him my number so I can talk to him? And he gave him my number, and like a week later, he called me up, said, yeah, I heard you want to go to Honduras. And I said, well, have you ever heard of these people called Garifuna? And he was like, yeah, I'm Garifuna. And I was like, what? So, and it just took off. And then he told me how his mother worked for the Honduran government, and how I could stay with his family. And, you know, I made my way to his mother's home by myself on this 8-hour bus ride, which was hot.
You were protected.
Yeah, so I got there, and when I got there, you know, she took me in like a daughter, and we spent, you know, weeks together. And she you know, I love her like my mom now. And she's a good person, and she introduced me to the Honduran president, and she took me all over.
Pictures of that?
Yes, I do. Okay. I have pictures.
We got to do a follow-up on this one.
I have video footage. What was going on when I went with her? It was a debate going on of some sort, kind of like a town hall meeting going on in Trujillo, and so he was speaking to the people there, and so I was able to go to the town hall, sit on the first row with the journalists and everything, and I was able to record it. So it was a good time.
That's fascinating. That's really fascinating.
Yeah, Miss Zoe Miss Zoe Laboriel, right?
Yeah.
Zoe Laboriel. She is, yeah, she helped me out a lot.
Well, as you see, this is all family, and it's beautiful. You see what our youth can do. I mean, just warms the old man's heart to see your kids, your grandkids yet, up here doing and witnessing and giving testimonies to the spirit to the black spirit.
Yes.
Black spirit. Hey, that's fascinating. And it's throughout the world. As I always say on this program, the God in me loves the God in you. But you see where I get my energy from. These are the grandkids. And where's my great-grand? Have her make a little cameo here. Oh, she went home. All right. Well, you've seen her before, and you'll see her again. And she was around here somewhere. But, again, thank you. This is fun. I'm sorry we had such a shaky start, but that's what happens on a Gilchrist experience. Cool. We do it real. From the hood, as you see, I'm home again. From the real hood. From people from the hood, talking about the hood. All right. God bless you. The God in me loves the God in you. Stay tuned to the Gilchrist experience. God bless.
God bless.
All right.
Atención bailadores, les traigo algo distinto y diferente. Póngase las zapatillas y a la pista bailador, que llegó el sabor de 3D. Ahí. Óyelo, bailalo, gózalo, disfrútalo así. Óyelo, bailalo, gózalo, disfrútalo. Tú puedes bailarlo si quieres, hazlo sin inhibición. Cántenlo si prefieren, es para ustedes de corazón. Óyelo, bailalo, gózalo, disfrútalo así. Óyelo, bailalo, gózalo, disfrútalo así. Con esta rumba sabrosa, ahora te invito a bailar.
Oh, I can see it